fucking YouTuber now, don't I?
You love just timing it, just when the
That
live
was
bit
the
goes.
first
don't you?
one
Always the
second.
time.
The
Welcome
first
to Grumpy Old Reds.
Oh,
Honestly, at this stage, you're just doing it on purpose, man. You really are. Hi, guys. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. And yeah, they're all back. So the peace and quiet we enjoyed over the last few weeks, forget it. It's gone. It's done. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure you're joining the Discord. The Discord is pinned in the chat. Get in there and hurl some abuse at Ant. And let us know if Ant's echoing, because that's why we're late. Hence why he's got his hearing aid in. So everything should be okay now. Anyway, there's a lot to discuss. Forest is starting to move mad in the transfer window. I'm calling it now. It's going to be a big week at Forest. I trust in the Greek father. We're going to get some sick signings in. Does anyone share my optimism? Wow. Rob, you nodded. I'll take that as like. Let's start with Amari Hutchinson. This the Ipswich guy who got linked yesterday. What are you saying to him, Rob?
I don't have to put my finger up now, do I? I can just
you can just interrupt. Yeah. I preferred it when you had an echo. Yeah.
But first of all, I just want to say massive happy birthday to the gorgeous Rona, my brother's lovely new wife. So happy birthday, sweetheart. I hope you have a lovely night, even though you're spending it with Nathan. That's
really sweet of you to do, Ant. What did you get her?
Well, I don't take it like this, right? Sponsors pay a lot of money to hear me say their name. So therefore, if I see what a sponsor would, I would charge a sponsor. Rona's getting a good deal.
What's she selling?
Hey, that's my brother's lovely young wife you're talking about.
I wasn't casting any aspersions, but you were on about sponsorship. I don't know. That's a good question.
All right, let's get on with the show. Happy birthday to Rona. What is she now? 23, 24? About my age, isn't she?
She's a bit older than Nathan. Nathan is 22, so she must be 23, I think it is. Same as you.
Man, Nathan cannot pull off anything below 57, man.
Leave me alone. That's my little baby brother.
Wow.
All right, let's get into it. Can we get some birthday cakes in the chat for Rona? All right, I'll say Rob again. I'll see if Rob's mouth moves or Ant's. What are you saying to who were we talking about? Amari Hutchinson, sorry.
First of all, I just want to thank you for having the rest of us on. It's very kind of you, because I thought this was like a solo stream channel now. So I feel honoured to
I get more sense, mate. I get more sense from my own.
Look, I think 35 million was already quite a generous offer for Hutchinson. I don't think we should go any higher while there's other options out there. I think that a lot has been said about the fact he's only scored 3 goals last season. He was playing for Ipswich. I mean, in terms of the player himself, right-sided, he's exactly the profile we need. I think he's good for us, and I think he's been part of the under-21 setup as well, so he's well known to some of our other players. So I think he's a really good fit. I just don't think more than 35. I think, there's a lot of money being thrown around after sort of unproven talent. I mean, the sort of numbers that have been talked about for McAtee as well, a player that's been at best really fringe in Man City. I think, when you're shelling out 35 plus, you shouldn't be paying that for potential. You should be paying that for someone with an actual track record. But I'm glad that all the links that we're getting now are wingers, because I went to the preseason friendly the other night, and I think, we are really solid at the back. I think we've got lovely options at the back now. But, I was sitting there looking at the subs warming up in front of me, and we've got like about a dozen central defenders and just no wingers. Basically, once Hudson-Odoi and Ndoye, by the way, that's confusing, isn't it? Having Hudson-Odoi and Ndoye, that's going to...
You don't pronounce the N.
You don't pronounce the N. It's just
Doy.
Which makes it even harder.
In the end.
Not the best.
Just a quick one, Rob. Sorry, chat. Whose beard is better, Greg's or Ant's?
Oh, Greg's.
Mine.
Greg's is world class.
It's pretty.
It's well trimmed, isn't it? It's well trimmed. Yeah. Sorry, Rob. Go on. Shout out to Greg. Make sure you subscribe to Talking Reds. By the way, you guys should all by now be subscribed to them. We've sent you there loads of times. Go on, Rob. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, we were short on wingers anyway, and we've had 2 exit. and only one come in. And as far as Ndoye or Doy is concerned, he isn't an out and out winger. He's more of just a wide man that can play. He can play left and right back. So I like the links that we've got, and I think that we're kind of waiting for all the dominoes to fall now. But I think we may well move for one or two in the next week. The names that are familiar now. Yilmaz and.
Rob, you really got to stop bringing your mates on here, Rob. It's
Look, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Mates and mates, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, if I can carry on, I did surprisingly enjoy that preseason friendly the other night, even though it was another 0-0. I thought so. I got to see the debut of the three new players. I thought Jair looked pretty good at right back. Ndoye was tidy. He's got a good shot on him as well. Jesus was pretty quiet, I think, compared to the others, but I do like his physicality. He was getting stuck in, so I quite liked all three.
Rob,
so I'm happy with the business.
Whoa,
yeah, I know. I'm not saying I'm happy with the business we've done so far. I'm happy with the business we've done so far, but I think we do need two wingers, and I think Hutchinson is a good fit. I just don't think that Ipswich are under massive pressure to sell, because I think they've got him until 2029, and they want to come straight back up. So, and he had a release clause at 35 million, and I hear that that's now expired. So, I think they're probably trying to get some kind of bidding war, but I don't really think we should be going any higher until we've exhausted the other options, because I think that some of the other names we've been linked with look pretty good as well.
Okay, so something you said right at the beginning of all that spiel was about the type of player he is, and I got to agree, that's the type of player. If these rumors about all these reports, because it was reported in Athletic, I think, about Nuno's want to change his style of play and become a more possession-based team, this is the type of player we should be looking at. Yeah. We need players who are comfortable on the ball, who can keep it further up the field, bring others into play, and advance us literally up the field. And he is that type of player. But in comparison to the name that was linked earlier today on Wolfie's video with Bakwa, if we're just comparing the two of those, and for the prices, they're very similar prices. I know one's been played in the Premier League and one hasn't. But he is much more the focus on the type of player that I think we need to be going for. We do need players who are comfortable on the ball, who can take players on, bring fans off our seats, because it's been some boring football at times. We've settled for it because we've got the results and we've managed to overturn teams that we didn't expect to at times. But I need to see some excitement when I'm at the City ground, and it has become boring at times. And these types of players, I'm really, really buzzing that we're linked with. But if we're going to go between the two, Bakwa and Amari Hutchinson, if it was a shootout, yes, Amari Hutchinson's got the homegrown appeal, but that's what's adding the tax as well. I don't think if he was a homegrown player, you'd be looking at 35 million for him. You'd be looking at closer towards 20 million for what his potential is, and probably what he's shown so far. Five GAs last season isn't great. It's nothing to write home about. He does like a shot, but he's not the best. He hasn't had the best results from it. So of the two players, I would go for Bakwa 100%, because I think
100%, bro.
Yeah. So and similar age, aren't they? I think Bakwa's 22. They're both left-footed, aren't they?
He's about to go 23.
Just give us a bit more background on the two of them, because I think they're both similar, but Bakwa just really lights it up for me.
I just want to know, Ez, how the hell are you winning this beard poll? And Greg's name is in there.
I didn't know there was a poll.
And you need to sort your beard out, bro. You're bottom.
Actually, I'd like to say, first of all, you're a fucking coward because you didn't put your name on it.
Oh, mine's not sorted, bro. I still need to do.
Yeah. Well, think, Mike, 3 days growth. It's not even a beard. It's 3 days growth. Give me a break.
Oh, don't get so touchy, man. All I'm saying is the audience appreciates a well-groomed beard. How the hell Ez is ahead of Greg is beyond me right now.
Hey, listen, I don't have to dye mine. But he doesn't dye his either.
There's not a hair out of place.
Yeah, Ez, mate, I love you to bits, mate, but I've seen you close up. You do need to dye it.
Silver fox.
And Greg's away from home. I mean, Chat, you just don't know your beards, like you don't know your footballers. Chat, that's all
I
I'm
know.
gonna say.
Look at this. It's even like
Right.
nearly shaven
Mm.
under the.
Yeah, what you done here?
I remember-
What you
I
done here
remember
is on the
when-
neckline. What's the neckline say? That's the
What you
giveaway.
doing here?
Tidy, bro.
That's terrible,
I'm
bro.
tired.
You got a
Right,
little patches.
Heidi.
Shut up.
That's unwashed,
Shut up.
man.
Anyway, we derail.
I
We
remember
digress.
the bad old days when men were clean shaven and women weren't. But anyway,
I mean, Rob.
Look,
Anyway.
I had a beard and I got it off.
Listen,
the other day.
you lot can all shut up because he's spoken. So just shut up. End it there,
Yeah,
right?
but I know Greg, and Greg knows his beard is the best for.
It is fantastic. I voted for Greg, to be fair.
I did as well.
Anyway, let's get back onto the players. And I think Mark, can you chuck up Talking Reds? Make sure these lot. Yo, you know what, Greg? We got to do a joint pod. We're just
That's
beards
quite a good
only,
name.
isn't it?
Yeah. In fact,
Rob
you
won't
can jump
be
in.
a player.
I'm going to be away for a while, aren't I? So yeah, bring Greg in. Nobody will notice the difference anyway.
No,
Bring Greg
told
in.
the difference.
Just dye your beard, bro.
Yeah, Mark, chuck that link in again. Everyone, make sure you subscribe to Talking Reds. Okay, what we're talking about. Okay, this winger though, I think 35 is my limit on him. Do you know what I'm saying? Would you go any higher, Ant? Or would you not go that high at all?
Well, I do actually like Hutchinson. I can't compare him to this other guy because I've never seen this other guy. Never seen him. Wouldn't know if he came and sat on my face.
Bakwa.
That's not right, is
And
it?
man, and I need to get you better into FIFA so you get to understand the leagues. Then you go and watch the games. Then you start to see
Yeah.
a special
But
card
you
comes
are aware-
out. You
you
want to
are-
go see them play.
Yeah, but you are aware, aren't you, that FIFA... It's ever so weird having these in. I can hear my own voice. It's weird.
It's
You
good
are
practice
aware,
for your
aren't
hearing aid.
you? Thank you. You're aware, aren't you, that FIFA's not actually real?
No, I'm saying when FIFA release special cards, you then want to go and watch that players. So you see
I
a
get
couple
you.
of their
Yeah.
games.
No,
Do you get me?
I'm pulling
Yeah?
your leg. It's a very good database. I know it is, and it does give you. It does give you.
Yeah, and then you
like
go and watch
say,
him. You're like, this guy is a
and then you
baller,
watch
man.
him.
Could he
Yeah,
go to
no.
Forest? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a baller.
fully accept.
He's a
fully accept.
baller,
Yeah.
and he will fit into the Premier League. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah,
Hutchinson.
Yeah, I do like Hutchinson. I think he was in a obviously he was in a very poor team last season, so I don't think you got to see the best of him. I did see some good bits from him. And unfortunately, it seems now that if a player's got one leg and two toes, he's valued at 30 million. You know, that just seems to be the standard. You're going for a player, 30 million. Better players now, it's 100 million. You know what I mean? It's like
Jackson,
no-
60 million. 60
and
million.
plus. Well, even what's his name? The
Sesko.
guy from Leipzig.
Sesko, yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous money. The guy's
Yeah.
had a couple of average seasons in a poor league.
Scored
No,
12
he's
or
good.
13 goals.
Yeah,
He is
you know,
very
it's
good.
absolutely
He's not.
crazy. No, he's not. I don't like him at all. I think that the other team.
Oh,
Arsenal, I
man.
think they've got-
Midtjylland won 3-1. Sorry, Ant. That means
Midtjylland won-
Frankenstein.
Yeah, Midtjylland will win that. They're a good team.
No, they
And I
won.
agree with you. By the way, I'm scared of both of them. If we
Yeah,
play
I'm
like we have been playing, I'm scared of both of them.
But we
'cause
can't beat
score.
Chesterfield, man.
We can't score, and this is where I'm not going to spread the discussion yet because obviously we want to concentrate on the agenda that you set. But 35 for me is pushing it. I don't personally think he's worth that. Yeah, 80 million. Yeah, I wouldn't give him 20 million.
Robbery,
Well,
man.
actually, I would give.
I
him 20
wouldn't.
million.
I would not have him at Forest for free.
No, 20 million.
Bro,
is worth that.
he's like, you know how I was right about Eddie Nketiah and I never bring it up and I never rub it in anyone's face, yeah? He is Nketiah 2.0, like in
I
my
agree.
hierarchy.
Yeah. Not for me.
Sorry, carry on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's worth 35, but that seems to be the going rate. And we do need some attacking players. But I keep saying over and over again, I want a goal scorer because we've not got one. I know people say Chris Wood, but as I keep saying, half those goals were supplied by Elanga. And he's unlikely to have another season like that. As Forrester, you know, it's unlikely.
So you not been
So-
happy with Jesus then? Is that what you're saying as well?
No, I've seen nothing from Jesus. I keep seeing everybody else saying, "Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, he's done this, he's done that. He's run about a lot." No.
Are you judging him too early?
Yeah,
Yes,
but he's
absolutely.
been played out of position. He's been played as a
Yes,
shadow striker.
listen. Yeah, I accept all these things, but I need somebody to prove to me that they're the player we want. I think that's reasonable. You buy a new player, he needs to come in and prove to you whether it's his fault or not that he's not been able to do that. Is a moot point. The fact is, he's not been able to score goals, and he doesn't look anywhere near likely to score goals. So
Yeah, but
I don't even, to be honest, I don't even know what he is at this moment. If we hadn't had prior information of what he's supposed to be able to do, I have no idea what his position is. I don't know what he's supposed to be doing.
I think that's a bit harsh because you're
Maybe
bringing
just-
him in as a striker, and then Nuno's putting him in as almost like an attacking 10.
I'm not necessarily blaming the player, but that's immaterial. I look at Forest as a team, as a club. We need to score goals. He's been brought in to score goals. He's
agree.
not scoring
I agree.
them. If he's been playing as a goalkeeper, it's not his fault. But it doesn't do me any good to know that he's not playing in his right.
Some would
Why
argue
is he not playing?
need another goal.
Why is he not playing in? Why is he not playing in his proper position?
He's played
He's had one
Awesome.
friendly.
What's Jesus done that is awesome? I'm not winding up, honestly. What has he done that's awesome?
He did that
Stan
beautiful
Collymore-
flick to Gibbs White, who then overhit the pass to Doy.
Stan
and
Collymore. Stan Collymore was
Scored
awesome.
a very nice goal against PSG,
Right.
the European champions.
Did that.
Oh, don't give me that crap. Honestly.
Yeah, no, but and you're right.
Another friendly.
Yeah, but and he's played one pre-season friendly for us.
Rob, you're not listening to what I'm saying because you're that ready to jump on me. I'm saying I need him to prove that he's a goal scorer. And so far, he has not done that. Whether it's his fault or not, whether it's early or not, I need to be convinced. Is there anything wrong with that?
No.
I understand his
I think it's-
concern. I totally understand Ant's concern because there is no backup to Chris Wood. And if we can't put all our eggs in one basket with Chris Wood again this season, we've all said it. And Jesus, okay, whether he's being played in the right position or not, he still isn't a replacement for Chris Wood as far as I'm concerned. There's other strikers out there. I know it's the hardest market to go into, but we haven't been linked. This has gone quiet. You know, I'm not actually bothered about him anymore. I think Brentford will be perfectly fine anyway. Everyone's thinking they're gonna be a relegation candidate. I don't think
Inshallah,
they will. I think they will drop off. But I think we've got enough in reserve. It's just the only real issue is their manager. He's got no experience, but the team I think will be fine. I don't think we can go. So we've spent so much time and effort on Visser and nothing's happening. What are the other options? And I think Ant's right to be upset about our striking options because our striking options, we're being linked to wingers now who can make goals, but make goals for who? Because you can't expect Chris Wood to have the same season as he had last season. So I'm with Ant on this one. Where are the striker links? Where are the forward links? And he's right to be frustrated. There's not
I
much
think you
time
guys
there.
are going early on Jesus, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I honestly do.
yeah, but you can't. The thing, I understand Ant's point about you need more strikers, but you can't blame Jesus for. You can't say he's come in and not shown anything when he's been played in the wrong position. And
But he's not shown anything.
Ben, do you think he's a
game.
direct replacement for Wood? Is he a direct replacement for Wood? That's what I want to ask you.
Well,
Is Jesus?
what I was going to say is, I would say Jesus is a striker, so he would be basically the alternative to Wood. But what Nuno's doing at the moment is he's playing a formation which some would argue is 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1, where both our strikers in our team are on the pitch at the same time. Now, even if they both scored 5 goals in pre-season, it's still a problem because if you're going to play that formation, who's going to come off the bench realistically? Who's going to challenge them? And in all the competitions we're in, you can't rely on Taiwo to come on as a substitute attacker because he hasn't done anything for a season. So
that's a good point. That was a 4-4-2 the other night, and I think it's absolutely fine for Nuno to try that out because that was a question I asked about 3 weeks ago, which is there a way that we can get both Wood and Jesus to start? But it wasn't good in terms of chance creation. It was very solid. We kept Fiorentina at bay, but we weren't really knocking on the door very much. The best chances we had were from people like Doy, who had he's got a good shot on him, by the way.
Yeah.
So, but I think what we will probably end up doing is starting the season with the 4-2-3-1 with Chris Wood up front, and Jesus is your 65th minute substitute, and he's an upgrade on Taiwo in that position. And you know, when you interviewed the man himself, you said, "What are you?" And he said, "I'm a centre forward. I'm a number 9." So that's what he thinks he is. Now, I mean, the point is, obviously, any player that you sign from Brazil, you can say, yeah, okay, but what have they done yet? Well, nothing yet because it's in Brazil. But, you know, you could have said that about Murillo. He went straight in the team and he was fantastic. So I'm personally not worried about this. I don't think Chris Wood has suddenly gone off during the summer. I do share Ant's concern that Elanga was his main supply. But I think we're going to move on one or two wingers, and I think we're going to, we're tinkering a bit and we're trying different things because Nuno wanted to put out a formation where all of the new signings started. No problem with that, but I don't see that 4-4-2 as an indicator of how we're going to line up against Brentford, because for that Brentford game, we need to win that. And
So
by
what's
the way,
the point?
last thing about Wissa, I think we need to forget about Wissa, because I would imagine that he's going to be the backfill at Newcastle if Isaac goes to Liverpool, right? So that's
There was
I'd rather go for Kevin Shaw, though, to be honest. I'd rather go for Kevin Shaw.
I like him. He scored against us.
There was a statement out earlier from Ryan Yates saying something along the lines of pre-season's been really strong. We're learning how to play together and adapt as a team. So my question is, what's the point playing Jesus and Wood on the same pitch if you're not going to do that in the Premier League?
Well, no, you find out. You do it in a friendly to find out, and I don't think it particularly works.
Yeah, but he did it twice.
He did it twice. He did it twice.
The first time.
And he's done it in the last match. He did it for 60 minutes, and he did it in the match before as well.
And we got one more game left.
He's playing Jesus as like a shadow striker in like a 4-4-1-1 formation.
He may revert to type on Saturday and go back to the.
I think you're right. This game on Saturday is important because it's the last dress rehearsal. Let me just catch up on the super chats. On the question of have you guys been impressed with Jesus, 33% of you have said yes, 9% of you have said Ant, and 59% of you are saying too early to tell.
We got too early to tell, by the way.
Yeah.
I voted for too early to tell. I never said he was shit. I said he's not proven anything to me yet, and I need it proving.
Sounded like a no.
No.
Chris with the welcome back message for both Ant and Rob with the £2. Pillock. Backs. Shout out to you, Chris. Jess with the £2. Jess.
She's a bit hot for Hutchinson, is Jess?
Jess, I'm going to ask you straight. Jess, do you fancy him, Jess? Is that where we're going with this?
That's
Jess, right?
That's up, Jess.
Is this the point where Lefty comes in with a comment and says we need Jess?
Shout out to Lefty. Jess, we need to know. Are you ditching Wood for Hutchinson? That's what we need to know. Shout out to Jess for the £2. She says she wants him. Jeff with the 3 months. Big up to you, Jeff. That's a nice t-shirt, you know. Training to see it. Thank you, Jeff, for the 3 months. Ricardo with the £5. He goes, Nuno is reckless in the transfer window. Should stay away, he says. I don't know how much say Nuno has in the negotiation. Well, I've got a few stories. I've got a few interesting stories that I'm getting verified on it. But shout out to you, Richard, for that. Happy 2-year anniversary to Forest Till I Die, the absolute legend. Happy 2 years to you. Big up to Chris again. He goes, thinks we miss out on Luiz, but sneak Vlahovic in. I'm off Vlahovic completely. I'll be honest with you guys.
It could score a goal. I'll have anybody that can score a goal. Bro, he's not that good in front of goal. He's just a name. He's just a name. Man.
Does he not suit our formation?
Maybe right, but I am.
He might suit the formation. That's why I was for him, but I don't know. I'm gone off that. Give me Douglas Luiz, man. Just give me Douglas Luiz.
We definitely want Luiz.
I'm all Jessica like with Hutchinson on Douglas Luiz. I'm like, yeah, bring him.
Would that include if we have to give them Sangare as part of the deal?
No, that's not acceptable.
Well, so the problem seems to be, and I can't quite understand this because they weren't picking him, but they seem to say that they need a replacement before he can go. What's going on there?
Yeah, the problem is
that's rubbish.
Yeah, the problem is when the reports come out of two places, I always say Italy and Turkey, they're very, very speculative. The reports that come out, you really have to dig through them. So, as I keep saying on this Douglas Luiz one, we got no inside knowledge. We're just sharing with you the reports and then giving you our opinions on what's going on with Douglas Luiz.
2 games last season. Why would you need a replacement?
Yeah. If you deduce it by logic, it makes no sense. Yeah. And he's also been a problem child because he didn't turn up to the preseason camp and what have you. So I find those reports a bit disingenuous. It
would be a disaster to start selling. If Nuno's going to use Sangare as effectively a bench player, why on earth would you sell them? This was a problem last season. Is that we had no one good to come on off the bench and challenge our starting 11. This season we're going to be in 4 competitions. Why on
Yeah.
earth would you sell one of our best?
We don't need
players?
replacements. We need additions. It's simple as
Exactly.
Exactly.
100%.
Douglas Luiz is
You
not a
can't
6.
expect, even if we did get Luis in, you can't expect him to play 50+ games. You need other players. You need a squad. Bloody hell! You know, it's a no-brainer. Sangare goes nowhere for me.
But we're getting all het up here, and as Wolfie said, I don't think there's anything in this Sangare thing at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
No.
Let me just finish the super chat.
Can I just say on that? Oh, go on.
Yeah, just 2 more. Shout out to Jess. Because 35 million ain't that much, to be fair. Jess, are you on commission now as well?
No,
Jess?
I kind of agree with her. There is a point there.
Yeah, she's on benefits. We can afford anything.
There is
Jess
a
had
point
the
there.
job. She told us that.
It's in line with what Rob was saying about the
She's
potential.
not.
So we paid for, let me just say, we paid for potential with Elanga, and that was around 15 million. Now I just think the baseline has gone up, you know, for those potential type players, it's not 15 million anymore. You're looking at 30, 35 million. But I just think that's
It's a fair point
very
because
rated.
Cole Palmer was 40 mil and no one had seen him play before he joined Chelsea. Is he worth more than 40 mil now? Of course he is. So I get you, Jess. But
The problem with the 35 mil number, though, is that if you spend a little bit more and spend 40 mil, you get someone like Akliushin. Or Fofana, or whoever it is. Like, I'd rather spend that extra 5 mil to get someone who I think is worth 40 than someone who I think is too overpaying for 35.
Yeah, the biggest thing that people don't take into account with transfers, and it is massive, it's the wages that these guys are on.
Well, I saw yesterday
because if you're committing yourself 35 over 5 years, that's 7 million a year. Yeah. His wages might be that. Not this particular player, but like Douglas Luiz, his wages might be 5 million a year. So it's not. So you've got to add that on, and that's another 25 million on top of the 35 million.
yeah, but we're fans. We don't care about that stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know we are, and you're absolutely right. But unfortunately, we now know that it affects other transfers targets.
See, I
didn't bother you before, Ant. You didn't give a shit before.
I see some people saying,
I don't give a shit as long as we can afford it.
No, I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. I think we do
Let me just finish
involved
super
in
chats.
it.
There's two more. Shout out to
Sorry.
1865, 1 month away from the 2-year anniversary. Big up to you. Forest Lion, how you doing, my mate? With the 199 goes Sangare in the away kit launch. So ... Exactly. Gibbs White was there as well.
That's you, I know you did. I did. Jess, I did say she's not really. I did say that.
already.
But you were probably too angry by that point to have noticed.
Chris with another £2 shout out to you guys. I don't do FIFA, but in real life, like, it scores. So why are they getting rid of him, Chris? Why are they getting rid of him? That's my question. But shout out to you, Chris. And there he is. He didn't get in trouble. I can confirm. He blinked
How do
twice.
people
at me.
keep these bloody things in their ears? People must have massive ear tunnels. Because mine just don't stay in.
Anyway,
I was just saying on Jack Grealish. People say let's get Jack Grealish. He's on 300 grand a week.
And evidently, Man City say whoever loans him has to pay the whole lot.
Yeah, exactly.
So
No,
I don't know what that is a year, but it's a lot.
All right, I want to ask an interesting question. I want to know what the chat. I mean, it may not be interesting in my mind. It is. We're on 156 likes. We've got over 600 in here. Please do be at 250 at least, guys. What are we doing here, man? Make sure you've joined the Discord as well, because we're talking their Forest 24/7 at the moment. That Discord is crazy. I can see 673881 has joined. Scratchy has joined. Tricky Mickey. The link's pinned for you guys in the chat. Make sure you join. And also the Predictor League is back up and open. This is separate to the Fantasy Premier League. So if you're doing a fantasy team, join the league. Mark will sort you out the link. I hope. Love you, Mark, in the chat. You know, when I say that, there's about 200 marks in the chat. I hope Mark Dennis knows I'm talking about him.
Just say Catfish, he knows.
Catfish, exactly, Catfish. The Predictor League, that's the one. If you're going to join it, you have to join it from the start. Otherwise, Ant thinks he's the best predictor in the world, even though he didn't win it last year. You predict
because
the
I
Premier
didn't
League
do it for the last 4 weeks. After you told me there was no bloody prize, I stopped doing it last 4 weeks.
So
and I'm not doing
about
it.
the prize,
I'm not doing it this season. What's the point in me using all my knowledge and immaculate predictions when I don't get any reward for it?
Because it's about pride, bro. It's about pride. Yeah, you can't let Ez finish ahead of you again, surely.
I'm
Trust
he
me.
didn't finish. He did not finish ahead of me.
Hey, but
How very dare
bro,
you.
my finish was strong, man. My finish was strong. Look where I came from, man. That's well
and my
outside the top
finish-
50.
To be
My
fair, to be fair, Ez,
you were, Ez, you were, but my finish was non-existent. As I said, it did
You limped
That's what she
over,
said.
bro.
limped
That's
over
what-
fourth position.
it sounds like a
Well,
bit of a.
Oh, anyway, it's all about Forest not playing Predictor League. So if you want to join the Predictor League,
It's great fun though. It's great fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
someone
not
like
an answer in there.
someone
it's not
like
an answer.
Zorro would say they finished strong, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. We're 11 likes away from 200. So if you haven't hit the like, hit the like. Okay, here's my question to you guys and the chat. If we didn't know, based on the article, I think it was either in The Athletic or Percy, that Nuno was changing his style to a more possession-based team and a more attacking-based team, would you guys have been able to tell on your own accord?
Yeah.
Who wants to kick this one off?
I'll kick it off. No, I think preseason's been a pile of wank, and I think we've played crap. To be honest, we've scored what, 1 goal. I mean, the thing is, preseason for me, like even if you look at the last preseason we had the year before, it doesn't make that much difference to the league. I know some of you think it does, but to me, preseason is not really. It's not really an example of how you're going to perform in the league, so it doesn't bother me that much. But the way we've been playing, I mean, last game was actually probably the best game, but the games before the last one were shocking. So I don't see an identity yet because I don't think we've got our starting 11, and this is the problem that we had.
Then, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I know, but we this is a problem we had, and you know, when Nuno first started or under Cooper, I can't remember. There was no set standing 11. The team kept changing week in, week out. And I don't think we have that yet. So I'd like to see an identity, but we'll see how it goes on Saturday.
Well, if I can put my 2 pennyworth in, right? Pre-seasons for me, this idea of getting fit, yeah, there's an element of getting them fit, but come on, these guys train like madmen when they're off the pitch, and when they're on the pitch in friendlies, nobody's trying anyway. So don't give me that bullshit. They walk around for 60 minutes, then walk off. But I tell you what it is good for is team gelling. And I don't mean team bonding, I mean team gelling. So you should by now, with 1 week and a few days to go, I would say have the way that your team is going to play. The way your team's going to play and the personnel where they're going to be, so that they formed those partnerships. Football is very heavily reliant upon partnerships, whether it be midfielders, attackers, defense, wherever it is, partnerships. And we're building nothing. The defence is okay, but they've played together before, you know. Everywhere else on the pitch, nobody's got an idea or clue who's going to be playing where. We haven't, and apparently the players don't have either. 1 goal in 5 games is disgraceful. And I tell you what.
6. Is it 5 or 6?
God, too many.
6, I think, isn't it?
How many is it, chat? Have we 5 or 6?
That's pathetic. That is actually pathetic, right? And not only have we not scored goals, we've not even looked like scoring goals. We've been rubbish, utter garbage. Now, that doesn't fill me with any confidence. I'm sure it can't fill the players with any
It's 6, Sam. Wow.
6. And I'm sure that it can't fill the players with confidence either. So, although we all say it's pre-season, I think there is some importance to pre-season. If you're playing well, your teams are building relationships and playing well, scoring goals, winning games, that's got to be better for you than going in with a haphazard load of crap that we've been doing. Surely.
I think it's important, but I don't think it has a huge effect on the rest of the season.
I think it can.
I think it can. Particularly the start of the season, Crypto.
Yes.
If you're unprepared and the team you're facing is very prepared,
yes, patterns of play.
The big difference for Forest especially is that on paper we don't have the best team in the league, but psychologically that's where we're really good. And I think as soon as it gets that first professional competitive game, it will change. Their psychology will change going into that match.
I hope you're right.
Okay, but let me ask you this, right?
I find that footballers generally can't do that. But
yeah, but the thing is, like, we had a good preseason under Houghton, and then we all know what happened, right? There's all examples that we can bring. I remember watching Carlton Watson back in the day in the academy in preseasons against Ajax and things. Sometimes it looked good, sometimes it didn't. And then, but I bring it down to the Premier League era. When we came up in the Premier League, the first season, our preseason was utter garbage, right? And it
atrocious.
dragged on. The team did not start to perform till about January time under Cooper. The second season looked diabolical in the preseason, and he was sacked shortly afterwards. Last year, I was seeing exactly what I think Matt was saying in the chat, patterns of play in the preseason. I don't care if we beat a team 5-0 or it's 4-all or it's 0-0 or whatever. I'm looking for the patterns of play, the chemistry on the pitch. I saw that last season, hence why I predicted we'd finish 8th. This preseason, I'm not gonna lie, I got excited for the first half last game because that's the best I've seen all preseason. And honestly, was it that good? We still couldn't score. We created 3 chances.
This is what I want to argue about. I think most of the hard work was done last year's preseason. I think Nuno's style isn't really going to change that much as we see in these reports. There's not going to be a huge change. And I think with the players we've got, he can't afford to really. So deep down, we're going to start up a setup with a 4-2-3-1 in that first game against Brentford, 100%. And the real change is who you're going to replace Elanga with. And I think it looks like Doy is going to be probably playing on the right, and we'll probably see Hudson, and probably see Hudson-Odoi on the right instead, right? So I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of change. One thing, there was a preseason video with Einar and Hudson-Odoi, and they said themselves that this one was a lot more impactful in terms of the fitness that we had to do. So I genuinely don't think there's going to be too much change in our setup. And these games, there are benefits to take out of it. How many clean sheets? We've had 4 or 5 clean sheets in those games as well. So we've got to take that on board as well. So to say that is totally...
We're not playing Real Madrid.
We know our defence is good, Ed. We know our defence
is
good. No work needs doing on that.
But I'm saying that will give a place some confidence going in, knowing that part of it we don't have to worry about. Yes, the goal scoring side of it has been a big issue, but I don't think it matters really. It was about this, and it is the cliche. I think this preseason has been about getting minutes in players' legs and giving them that fitness. It's not been about setting up formations. I think the formations and tactical work largely was done last year, and I don't think there's going to be a massive change. Honestly,
if it was done last year, what's the change going to be? There's going to be no change.
The reason
there isn't going to be a change because we haven't got the players right now to make that change.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
As the reason we did well last year is because we identified the problem from the season before, which was effectively set pieces in our defense. Strengthened with Milenkovic, conceded hardly any goals from set pieces, and now this last season that's gone with another year down, the problem is basically we don't have players on the bench who can match the quality of the starting 11, and secondly, we don't score enough goals. So
exactly, and yeah, that's it. That's the other problem. We don't score enough goals. That hasn't been addressed. So how can we expect a huge change in gameplay? We will start the season 4-2-3-1, 100%.
Yeah, but it's down to the recruitment team and the manager. It's down to the recruitment team and the manager to change that.
Yeah, but it's the creativity.
He's only dealing with the tools he's got, man. I don't call it. We're not calling.
I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying it's down to the players.
We haven't got the players.
Those goal scorers.
Let's bring Rob in. He's been very quiet. Rob, he's absorbing away, scratching his head a little.
Absorbing. I'm not worried because I know that we haven't finished doing all of our business in the transfer market yet. I think we'll make 2 more signings, both attacking signings.
Don't say Evan Ferguson.
The other one that seems to have gone quiet is Malik Fofana. I don't know whether we've heard anything about him because he was attracting interest from. Yeah, but I mean, you
remember what Jacob said to us? He goes, "That was just paper money for Leon."
Sure, but I mean, we've got a list of. We are linked with as many as a dozen attacking players, aren't we?
I was linked with Carly Minogue last week, but it didn't work out.
But look at the names that we've been going through over the last couple of weeks. We are going to end up moving for 1 or 2 of these players, and we just don't. It's all a question of who, at what price, at what wages, and do they really want to come, or have they got better options? And it's going to be very, very late on in the window because a lot of these players are subject to a kind of domino effect where the players that have the teams that have Champions League football are taking first pick. So look at the big moves that are going on. Like Isak moving to Liverpool, then that means that Wissa might go to Newcastle, and these things have to happen in this order. And we are somewhat further down the chain. But it seems to me that the club has a war chest available to make maybe 2 more signings in the 30-40 million range, and they both need to be creative attacking players. Now, in terms of what I saw the other night at home against Fiorentina, it was a 4-4-2. Hudson-Odoi started on the right and Doi started on the left, and then they did a swap. They did the usual sort of Nuno swapsies. They both looked good on the ball. Anderson looked good on the ball. Gibbs-White looked good on the ball. It just felt to me like we were playing way too deep. So the first 20 minutes of that friendly with Fiorentina were all played in our half. But then Fiorentina didn't create anything in the first half, whereas we did have 3 or 4 shots on target. But I think that, if you're going to play that sort of more possessive football, the question comes like, how deep are you going to play? Are you going to push up? Are you going to press? Because I didn't see any pressing. I didn't see any pressing either. So, but I'm honestly not worried. I think that these friendlies are an opportunity for Nuno to try different formations out, different players. Got to remember that Aina was sitting in the stands the other day, right? So we started off with Jair right back. The team's going to look pretty different by the start of the season. I think we would have brought in another winger, and we'll start with the 4-2-3-1 with Chris Wood up front.
The problem is with only bringing in 2 players is exactly that. If an injury happens, we had Bolly on as right back in the second half. Bolly.
No, it wasn't right back. They played 3 back.
Yeah. Well, so
because you had Zach Abbott on the right wing back.
Okay, but still, even Zach Abbott, like we're not talking Premier League, Europa level here.
Half
Like,
of our substitutes central defenders. I was sitting in the family stand and I could see them all warming up. I'm thinking, I'm looking at 3 central defenders here.
There's so many defenders, Rob, in this squad,
Abbott,
man.
Morato and Bolly, and Sangare, who's the defensive
and
midfielder.
Omari was on the bench as well. You had Eric Da Silva on the bench. Yeah. Like we could put 3 squads out, full 11s of goddamn defenders, man. It's so overkill on the defense right now.
Yeah, but just to clarify, DBZ, I'm not saying Bolly's a bad player. I'm saying
Carmo as well.
We need more.
Carmo as well. That's 4.
Can I just push back on the point that you made? Can I just push back on the point that Rob made? We can't. Our transfer tactic can't be to wait till the last few days of the transfer window to see what we can pick up. That can't be the.
Remember what we did 2 years ago? We signed like 6 on the last day. So I'm actually pleased.
The problem is, Rob, I'm never one of these people that says there's 3 weeks left, there's 4 weeks left, it's 5. If you remember January last season, just gone, we were all certain we were going to get a striker. And even with 3 weeks to go, 2 weeks to go, we were saying, oh, no, we'll get one because we absolutely have to get one. This could be for Champions League. It's big.
Yeah.
And we waited. And even at 11:59, we were saying, no, it's going to come in. And it didn't. And that shook my faith, Rob.
Yeah,
it shook my faith.
That's true. But
and also, always, you're happy, sorry, Rob, but you're happy to be linked with this. I don't give a shit about links. Links mean nothing. Right.
Yeah, I don't mind Wolfie. I don't mind them being choosy.
I don't want links. I want signings.
Yeah, all right. But we've got a couple. I mean, like take Hutchinson, for example. Maybe if we offer 3 million more, the deal's done, right? He's honestly, that one looks ready to go, right? So we have probably they're sitting there in the control room with about 3 or 4 ready to go, where they've maybe even agreed terms, and they're thinking, right, who do we move for? And then these players are waiting to see whether they have better options or whether maybe their clubs are going to.
So why did Dan and Doi come when he came then, Rob?
Sorry?
Why did Dan Doi come when he came? Pause.
Well, then they obviously made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Okay, so why can't they do it with the other players? Because Napoli wanted him. Napoli pushed for Dan Doi. They've won Serie A. They're in the Champions League.
Give credit where it's due. I'm happy with the 4 that they've brought in so far, right? Including the goalkeeper as well, who I think is a good stealth signing, by the way. I think that's a serious.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Backup goalkeeper, right? And that shouldn't go overlooked. I mean, he was a number 1 for Norwich. And they actually couldn't hang on to him because he was maybe a bit too big for them as a club. So. I'm happy with the 4 that they've done. So let's just at least give them credit for that, because it's not going to be panic buying on the last day. I do think that there's just a lot of plates spinning at the moment in terms of these wingers. And we are going to make, we clearly need a couple of signings Maybe a striker will turn up, and maybe Douglas Luiz as well.
Yeah, but-
Okay, let's just 1 sec, man. All right, let me ask you this. Let's say Douglas Luiz comes. What day are we on now? Thursday. Let's say Douglas Luiz comes in on Monday. 2 more wingers come in on Tuesday, and a backup left back or something comes in on Thursday. Are those
Is
4
this
players
the
ready
new,
for
is this the new
Brentford?
Craig David song?
Basically, are those 4 players going to be ready for Brentford?
Exactly. Rob,
Well,
the
the
mentality you've
window
got.
actually closes after the first.
I
couple
know,
of weeks.
I
Yeah,
know.
but that's the problem. The mentality you've got is wait till the window closes. How about we wait till the first
No, that's
game
not
of
the
pre-season?
mentality. It's the reality.
The first
am I
game of
gonna
the
go- am I
season
gonna-
is about 9 days away. If we bring players in next week, they've missed the whole pre-season. They've got no time to gel with the team, and we've got a Premier League match a week on Saturday.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
not
that's
the
the problem.
mentality.
That is a
It's the
problem.
reality. It's like nobody seems to accept at this point that in the chain of teams buying, we are somewhere down in sort of 6th or 7th place after the Champions League guys and the big money clubs have spent their money, and then we wait for those dominoes to fall, right?
But
I mean,
that
remember-
doesn't back up. That is the Dan Doy debunks
Yeah,
your.
right, but
your
take
analogy.
Sangare. Sangare was signed literally in the last second of the transfer window because we had to see whether Liverpool were going to buy him, and there's somebody else was interested in
Yeah, and
him.
then he
as well.
didn't. And then he didn't have a proper pre-season, and he didn't play well until the end of the
Yeah,
season.
but that's the reality.
but
Stop
he's not
living in
good
the
enough.
world that
It's
you
not
want
good-
to
it's
live
not
in
good
and
enough.
deal with
Not good
the
enough.
reality.
This from the man that says we've got all these players lined up and we're just waiting to flick the button and everything.
Well, can
This
you
is
not
living
at least
reality.
give credit for the 4 signings that we've
No,
done.
I'm not
But
giving any credit whatsoever for those 4 signings. They're very fucking average signings. They've cost
No,
us
they're
about
not.
50. They've cost us about 50p in total compared with what other clubs are spending, and I've seen nothing to prove that they're going to improve the team whatsoever. So no, I'm not happy with the 4 signings, and I'm not happy with the fact that we've been linked with X, Y, and Z and buying actually nobody. We're going to struggle next season, Rob, if we don't sort this transfer window out quick. Because Jesus ain't going to save us, mate. He's not going
Yeah.
to score any goals.
Okay, but so
Right.
the better players, right? So you can get somebody like Hutchinson now if he's not got any better offers, right? You just have to meet the asking price. But if you've got your eyes set on people who are better than him, potentially, you then have to wait to see if bigger clubs want to sign that player first.
Or they
and
can't
if-
sign everyone, Rob. They can't sign everyone.
No, but take Fofana, for example. Take Malik Fofana, right? So Liverpool and Chelsea were sniffing around him, weren't they? Right? So he needs to decide, is he going to move? And if he's not going to either of those, he might come to Forest.
But
That's
he's
fair
not
enough.
the only winger that's available. If he's going to
know,
sit there and
but
say,
what
I
I'm
want
saying is
Champions
we-
League football, then move on. It's
I don't
like
know
it's
why
like
this
waiting
is
for
so
that
hard to
perfect
get
woman
across.
to walk through the door.
This point
You're
is,
right.
I
You
don't
go
know why
into
this point
Fofana,
is
you
so
say,
hard to
this
get
is our offer, this is your salary, this is the contract. Do you want to come with us? No? All right, bye. We'll go to the next one. That's what you
Yeah,
do. You don't
stop
sit there like
lowballing.
you don't sit there like a
Yeah.
bloody idiot saying, well, wait to see if Liverpool come in or Man United come in
No, that's
or
the player
Chelsea.
and their
And
agent.
if they don't on the last day of the season, he might come to us. No, you
But
don't do that.
The players and their agents are playing that waiting game. We are not the only.
So you fuck them off then, don't you?
Yeah, you can't just keep kicking the
Fuck 'em
can
off.
down the
Literally,
road.
you have to say, that's enough, we're going.
You're doing exactly
Yeah.
the same with what you did with Cooper. You kick the can down the road for months
Right,
and
so
months and months.
in that case,
For
maybe we
months
should
and
just
months and months.
in that case, maybe we should just say to Ipswich, we'll give you the 40 for Hutchinson just to get the deal done. So we get him a week
you make
earlier.
your mind-
Maybe-
you're
or
right,
maybe
you're
we
right,
should
Rob.
buy
You make your
somebody
mind
worth
up.
40 million.
Yeah.
You make your
right.
mind up. You say,
Right,
is
I'm
this
saying
player
that's
worth
what it looks
40?
like.
If he is, you say he's your 40. If he's
Yeah.
not, you move on.
No,
You know, I'll give you an
And
example.
then you know what happens
Yeah.
then? You get a phone call from Ipswich. Actually, we'll accept 30. That's what
Absolutely.
happens.
Time for negotiation has got to be
Rob,
fucking wearing
Rob,
out
look
now.
at Liverpool went for Isak for 110 mil plus 10 mil. They said it's not enough. They backed out. They backed out the same day. It's now been reported on Twitter that they're going in for Vissa instead if they can't get Isak. They're
Arsenal
moving
went
on
for-
to different targets.
Arsenal
They're not
went for
competing.
Šeško.
Liverpool
When Leipzig wouldn't lower their price, Arsenal said, bye, we'll go and get Gyökeres.
Yeah, that was a 2-month buy, though, wasn't it?
Well, I know. Yeah, I agree with you on that. But the
Long
principle's there, isn't it?
All right, let me just catch up with some super chats. Guys, we're 9 likes away from 250, pushing on 700 in the chat.
Get 'em
Please
up.
do hit the like button. Quick reminder if you haven't already. Chris says 99% of the team have played a full season together. See, that's that's part of my annoyance.
Your maths is a bit off there, Chris. By the way, mate. Your maths is a bit off.
Oh, I think it's
99% of the team.
No, but let's go with that, right? So you can say 90% of the team. This team should have chemistry on the pitch. The changes haven't been that drastic on the pitch, and they don't look like that. That front lineup doesn't look like it's played together at all. Shout out to you, Chris.
Well,
Emily with the 199. She says would have scored if not for De Gea's mastery. It was a good effort. She's talking about the Dan Doy chance. I just like the build up to that.
Should have been top corner. That should.
Yeah, but I like the build up to that. And De Gea did pull off a good save. Shout out to you, Emily. DJ with the 35 months. Big up to DJ. And Warren with the £2. He says, forget friendly stats. Brentford, a win or question mark?
Easy win. Easy win.
We'll come on to that.
Definitely not an easy win.
Just let's pivot slightly for a second. And the beautiful Stu back in the chat with the £20. Thank you so much, bro. He goes, last donate before I think his donation before season starts. Come on, you Red. Big up to you. The absolute legend. Thank you for the 20. I've just seen.
Sorry everybody, but I've got a right sweaty bum on this bloody seat. It's driving me
Thanks
mad.
for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that.
Anyway, and speaking of sweat,
why should I suffer alone?
Tomorrow is the CAS hearing for Crystal Palace. Now, it's getting reported on Sky Sports, and this narrative is really going to shock you guys. Crystal Palace believe they have compelling evidence which will help them win their appeal at CAS. Palace are seeking to overturn UEFA's decision to get their place in the Europa League over Forest back. The decision expected on Monday. The Sky Sports are already pushing the narrative that Palace have is compelling evidence.
No, they haven't.
Where are we all on this one? Ez, what are you thinking about this? We won't cover it too long because it has dragged, and we're going to have to cover it tomorrow and Monday. But go on, Ez.
Kind of what you just said there, man. There's been so much speculation. Let's just wait for the decision to be made and the result to come out, because we can just keep going on and back and forth on this one. I'm still confident. I'm confident CAS will do what they're supposed to do. And it wouldn't. There's been so much precedent set just in this post-season with other clubs. There's at least 3 clubs that have been demoted or pushed out of their European competition because of this multi-club ownership. I can't see Palace winning on this, but we'll see. I don't want to speculate about it too much because we've done way too much of it. At least we'll have a decision by Monday, won't we?
Yeah, facts.
Can I just say that I don't think I've ever heard an appellant not say that they've got some fantastic new evidence that's going to change the verdict. They all say it, and they all know that they're robbing bastards because they're fooling their clients into paying them more money so that they do the dirty on them. And if I was CAS, I would say, the first thing I would say is, Palace, don't even mention Forest. It's got nothing to do with them. Don't even mention them. We're talking about you and what you've done. We shouldn't be dragged into it. It's got nothing to do with us.
Absolutely. It's just a gaslighting with the media as well. I'm really disappointed. They've picked a side on this one. But screw it. I don't care about them anyway.
They don't like Mr. Marinakis, do they? So
no, they don't.
That's the agenda. That's the whole agenda. How dare he? How dare he stand up for his club and not fall into the Big Six narrative?
It's also a complete false premise, right? So we are meant to believe that if Forest hadn't written that letter to UEFA, no one would have ever known about Crystal Palace's ownership structure. We snitched on them. Yeah? No one would have ever known. Also. UEFA wouldn't have taken any action themselves to enforce their rules. It was only because we complained. And as a result, everybody on this panel, every supporter in the ground owes a personal apology to Crystal Palace for that. I'm really tired of that now. Really tired of it. Mate.
Me too.
It's not just that. I mean, I had this out with D over on Potts' channel the other week. And I said to him, what was in the letter? And he's like, you snitched. You were complaining. I was like, all right. So if Forest didn't write that letter, would Palace still be in the Europa League? And he said yes. He said yes. And I was like, all right, end of convo then.
That's it.
How do you argue against that stupid, irresponsible response from him. It's just outrageous.
Yeah, D.
Absolutely outrageous.
I know you're watching, D. You're irresponsible. Ant told you.
Well,
Okay.
he is. I love him, but you know, he's a bit daft.
Yeah, D. All right. Let's move off that one. Unless Ben, you got anything to add to that?
No, I just want to talk about MGW in the 8.
Let's do that.
No, I want to talk about MGW in the new white shirt, so he feels at home. It was going to be blue, but
I mean, me and Wolfie have been saying for about 3 years that MGW is better in the 8.
you're doing
And-
it again, Ben. You're doing it again, like you did
He's
earlier
he's
on.
drawing the lines
Me
because
and
it thinks
Wolfie have
it's
said
gonna help him.
this. We all said that.
Bollocks.
All said
Is there
that,
anything you
mate.
haven't
I'm
said?
not even going to repeat what Rob said about
Just
Just
make
Rob
your
don't
point.
count. Rob don't
Finish.
count.
Just make your point without trying to back it up with anything else.
Yeah.
Just make your point.
I've been saying for 3 years, probably longer.
Same as the
before-
rest of us.
Before he even joined the club, that Morgan Gibbs White is an 8, and he looks so much better in the 8 in the preseason match the other day. And the thing that's best for me is that he doesn't try those stupid tricks because he's getting pressure. He's having to take the ball, he's having to look up and make a pass, and I thought he did a really good job of it. He looks so much better. He's got to have that 8 position. If they want to build the team around MGW, that's fine, but don't play him in the 10 because he's annoying me.
So this is,
Anderson needs to go in the 10. Morgan Gibbs White looks much better in the 8. He looks much more comfortable on the ball, much more confident.
are we talking about the guy that is a snake that's dead to you?
He's
I'll
not.
put it
He's
in
not-
the
he's not-
poll.
Oh,
Is he
Yeah,
an
yeah,
8,
yeah.
10,
No,
or
no,
a
no,
snake?
no. Let's
I
give Rob
think-
his minute because Rob's not giving his opinion on this MGW saga. We gave Ant his platform last week, so let's give Rob. his
No,
platform.
Rob was here before he left
No,
when
he
it was
wasn't.
happening. Before, yes, he
When
was.
it
Rob,
happened,
Rob
Rob,
give him a
speak
free
for
pass.
himself.
Rob left the country. He was so angry.
I want to hear
What,
this
Wales?
Snake Charmers
Wales
defense.
doesn't count as leaving the country.
Went to Wales.
Look, I'll do this in one sentence. I did say you shouldn't call
No,
him
you
these
won't.
names because there's a good chance he ends up staying. Now, I was right. Thank you. Conversation topic closed.
Wow.
And I'm glad he's staying, actually.
That doesn't change the fact that he was a snake.
You've had an agenda against him for 3 years, Rob. So
No, I haven't.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
shed that skin now. He's shed that
Yeah.
Tottenham skin now, and he's
I think
grown a
you're
Forest
That
fine.
skin
brand.
does not get shed for me until I see performances, mate.
I
Then the
agree.
skin sheds. Yeah.
I agree.
No,
No,
go
but
on,
like
Rob.
let me just say that last point. Someone said last week, I can't remember who it was, but they said, yeah, as soon as he scores against Spurs, puts his fingers in his ears, that's when it's all forgiven. But
Yeah, I'll stand up and I'll applaud that. I'll applaud that.
wearing the new Forest Spurs shirt as well.
Yeah. With Marinakis standing behind him while he celebrates,
We
just to
always
add that
win.
extra
We always
You just
insult.
superimpose that, yeah.
You can imagine if Marinakis ran on, MG scored and Marinakis ran on.
When
Marinakis goes and puts the fingers in the ear as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And they do a little dance together.
Go on, Rob.
Oh.
You were
So
saying.
I actually I've gone the other way on
By
this.
the way, that's the best picture
I would
ever.
like to see, because I think if he's too deep, he can't make those defense splitting passes
Oh.
that he did. So I actually want to see us
Good.
go back to the 4-2-3-1 and have him behind
Oh,
Chris
God.
Wood, because I think that the trouble is if he's playing too deep and we've got no Elanga, I really barely saw Chris Wood touch the ball the other night, and that worried me, right? And a lot of crosses were flung in, and he didn't get on any of them, and there were no real ground passes to him either. And I don't know whether Jesus is the supplier type of player. I think he's.
Yeah, I don't think he is. Well, we said that
So-
before. Elanga,
Yeah.
they got rid of our best supplier of goals, who was Elanga to Chris Wood, made up over 50% of goal contributions, and they
So-
sold him.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to have a three-man midfield, I would want to see Sangare and Anderson playing behind Gibbs White. I still think that's our strongest lineup.
I agree. I didn't like
That's the
how
point I was gonna
easily.
make. If you call someone a snake,
Yeah, of course.
it means
Just make
loyal-
every single
loyal,
point, Crypto.
hard
In
work.
3 years' time, you can say I said that. So just make every single point, Crypto. Just agree with everyone, and then in 3 years' time, we can pull those
I
results
will.
up.
I will.
Look, I was just
I'll
gonna
be sat here
say,
in 3 years, and I told you he was Nate.
Snarky
I was
Airs is
just
a
gonna
frightening
say-
proposition, I tell you.
as much as I do like, there will be games when it will work with Anderson and MG Dub playing deeper. but it does make us really easy to break through because the chances that they made. And let's give Sells his props again. He has been, although apparently I
is that
killed
after
him
what you said
last
last
week.
week?
I killed him off last week, but let's give Sells his props because he made some great saves. But the chances they created were straight through us. And that's a problem when you're playing with MG Dub. When you're not playing with a number 6, I'd rather see Sangare or Luiz with an Anderson or an MG Dub. I can't see them both playing too many games like that because we're just too weak in that midfield. Your midfield where we don't hold on to possession, hold on to the ball, we get walked through, man.
Yeah, but you say that. But do you remember against Villa when we were 1-0 down? He put Anderson and Gibbs White in the double pivot, and we turned it around and beat him 2-1. You remember Elanga scored the goal
right the home game.
Can we also be clear that
the home game.
Look, hang on, Fiorentina's best chances came when we
I
had
think that
Carmo,
was good
Morato, and Bolly at the back. Right? They didn't look anywhere. They didn't come anywhere close to us when we had the first choice defense on. So that doesn't worry me too much. I mean, Sales did get us out of jail towards the end with a couple of chances, with a couple of great saves. But at that point, we've got Carmo, Morato, and Bolly at the back. So it's hardly the first choice line.
The chance he had in the first half where what's his name got through, that was straight through the middle of us, mate. And it was a one-on-one where the rebound went onto the crossbar. That was straight through the middle of us.
Well,
and that's
I'm not bothered about the defence at all. I mean, I thought Murillo was excellent his time on the pitch against Fiorentina. Excellent. Which is nice to see because normally pre-season he's not always that hot, is he? Yeah, I've got no worries about our defence. The defence we've been playing is not going to be our defence. There's no Nico Williams, no Ola Aina, half the time. They were mixing and matching. They were having centre-backs at full-back. I don't think you can judge too much on that. I think our defence is absolutely fine. The midfield, particularly if we can snag Douglas Luiz, I think our midfield has got some really good options for both defensively and offensively. I'll go back to it. It's fucking goal scoring we've got a problem with. You could talk about defensive midfield as much as you like, but we ain't got a goal scorer apart from Chris Wood. But half of his goals have been taken away by Elanga going.
Yeah, but and how are we creating those chances? This team does not look like it. Like when we came, if we a couple of times came up against a low block in the preseason, they couldn't break them down 0-0. Against Fiorentina, we did create a couple of chances. It was the wingers who were taking those chances. And yo, big up, man. What are you saying? He's saying McAtee 100% before it's done. And he knows. He knows.
I know that's a good sign.
We'll talk offline, bro. Big up to you.
Yeah. Again, though, Chris Wood is not the kind of striker that's going to be running in behind, creating spaces, taking players away. He just basically hangs about. He goal hangs and fantastic finisher, absolutely elite finisher. But not all forwards can play like that. You can't play forwards of that ilk to always get the best out of your attack. Sometimes you need players that got some. I love pace, right? I love pace. That's why I'm sad that Elanga's gone, because his creativity came mainly from pace. And Doy's a different side. By the way, I'm genuinely interested. I 100% believe what you're saying, Wolfie, but where did you find out his name is pronounced Doy without the N?
In his intro.
He said it in his interview, and I also
that's the best way, because that's where I get my.
And I asked Ricardo as well.
I go and look at the players, what they say.
Ricardo.
That's how I know. That's how I know it's Ola Aina, because that's what he said. So brilliant. I will now call him Doy with confidence then, instead of.
And Ricardo told me as well.
Yeah. Well, he should know. Very, very good player. He looks a very, very good player, and I'm glad we've got him. But it's not an Elanga replacement. It's not going to be the same for Chris Wood as Elanga did. There's no getting away from that. And so I'm worried about. That's what I know. I keep going on about it, but that's what I'm worried about. We keep talking about it. Defense is fine. Midfield, particularly if we get Luiz, loads of options. Forward.
I had a couple. This is where I had a couple of concerns, because I was at the preseason game against Fiorentina. I think I stayed until they made their mass substitution. In second half.
It was no game after that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think they bought like 10 subs on and I left soon after that. But there were good signs in that game. The point I was going to make is the midfield will need to be worked on. But Ndoye has got potential, and we will see him playing different positions. But what disappointed me was we were getting crosses in, and we're playing two strikers that I expected that one would come short and one would go long. There were some actually really good balls that went in, and I was just screaming for Jesus to be running across the front of that 6-yard box and getting on the end of a couple of those chances, because there were great opportunities that we did create from both sides, from Hudson-Odoi and from Dan Doy. So there is potential there. I just need to see a bit more of how that two up front would work, because it can work, but they need to be making different runs. And on a few occasions, I saw them both making the same run. So that is just going to come with practice and getting to know each other. And we're running out of time to do that. There's one more preseason game. I'll be interested to see how Nuno lines up. I genuinely think he will have similar players, but he will revert to a 4-2-3-1 for the Al Qadsiya game, isn't it, on Saturday?
We better see Ola Einar, man, because I'm getting worried about his injury.
Yeah, Einar needs to be on the pitch, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
But Jack Cunha, he played Jack Cunha at right back. He wasn't under any pressure. He was comfortable.
Yeah, and you've been called out by a sheep shagger, bro. You must be really hurt.
No, I'm glad, because if he thinks I'm a dipshit.
In fact, let's get that ugly ass symbol off the screen. Yeah.
I'm obviously doing something right. If I'm pissing off a Derby fan, I'm obviously doing something right.
What league are they in? I can't even remember.
I've got no idea. Conference?
Yeah.
Is there a conference? I don't know. Below Premier League? Are the leagues below Premier League then nowadays? I thought they phased them out.
That's the sheep shaggers, man. Right, let me just catch up on these super chats because there's a really funny one coming up. Shout out to Chris with yet another £2. He says Anderson was too good all round to be stuck in a 10. I like him in the 8. I gotta say. Anderson for me is an 8.
I like him anyway, to be honest. Wherever he plays.
I don't think he's as brilliant and as everyone glazes him to be, but I think he is going in that direction.
The only thing I'll criticize is his end product. If he had an end product, whether it was a cross or a shot, I'd 100%. But his work rate, his energy, every time I looked up, he was there. He had the ball, and especially in that first half, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So he's got so much potential.
So a long time ago. Sorry,
I'll keep singing his praises. No, I was going to say I'll keep singing his praises. I know he's got a few doubters in our.
Oh right, he's going to be an absolute legend, but he's not quite there yet. I agree.
I said a while ago, it'd be a great 6 because he's always there.
His
brain is always there.
Anne's been saying that for 3 years.
And you can read this one out.
No. MGW is going to get what he wants, realistically.
Well, can you thank her first, Dan, and then announce?
Yes,
how
thank
much
you. I happen to know that that's not from benefits because you don't receive benefits.
Right, you got to read it first, man.
I read it. Are you stupid?
All right, you got to go. Jess, thank you for the £10, right? Because there's a
Jess, thank you for the £10.
Now read it and then comment.
Now read it and comment on it. Oh, sorry. All right. MGW is going to get what he wants realistically and enjoy my benefits money. I feel really bad. Look, Jess, I'm going to send you £20 in the post because I feel really bad taking £10 of your benefit money off you.
Big up to Jess as always. Okay. We got anything else left to cover off? Can't remember.
The shirt. Did we really get into the away shirt?
The shirt? What are you not saying? Chat in the chat. Give us the rating on the new home shirt, 0 to 10. What are you saying? Is there anyone who really excitingly wants to talk about it?
And the sponsor as well, Front of Shirt sponsor. I'm a little bit disappointed that we've gone with a gambling company as well. And another thing, because I genuinely thought it was my dad was like used to everything he wore was custom made, and his shoes were Bally shoes, which are really expensive shoes if anyone knows. And that's who I thought our sponsor was, and then it turns out some betting company. But it does look nice on the shirt. I'm just not happy about it.
It's the last season of betting companies on shirts.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know because I've not seen any figures of what they're paying. But we're a Premier League club in Europe now. I hope we've got a decent deal.
It's a lot, isn't it? I think
they will because it's betting. Yeah,
it's usually between about 4 and 7 million.
This is the
That's
for those who haven't
for
seen
me, Ben. That's not a lot for me, Ben.
Nothing.
For those who haven't seen it, that's the away kit.
It might be more.
No, 4 million would be about right.
Can I point out to all the fat belly blokes in the chat now? It won't necessarily look like that on you.
Who are you talking to, Anne? you talking? Are you fat
Well-
shaming, man? Who are you talking
They
to?
don't fat shame us, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
at least
fat
it
shame.
doesn't have pinstripes on. Pinstripes.
I'm with you,
are-
by the way. I'm with you.
Hey,
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what-
I got a little story. Got a
Right.
little story for you. Got a little story for you. I was talking to my brother the other night. My brother's quite a big lad. All right. He says, I'm disgusted. They've given us different shirts to the players. I said, what are you on about? He said, well, if you look at the players' shirts, the stripe, one of the pinstripes. Can you get that picture off, please? One of the pinstripes goes down the middle of the badge. But on mine, it don't look so good because you're at the side of the badge.
It goes down the middle. As you broke
Right?
down-
Yeah. So I'm thinking that seems a bit weird. And I went and looked at pictures, and then I got a picture of him standing next to Stu, who's also a big lad, but not as big as Nathan. I sent it to him and says, I think it's because you're a bit wider. I think they've had to move it out. Because if they put it in the same place for you, it'd be down your nipple. Actually, it probably is down your nipple, isn't it?
That's the pattern on the shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is
The
it?
little-
I
little
prefer that
post.
badge.
It's
I
weird.
prefer that badge to the shield on the home.
I
shirt.
don't like the shield. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No,
I don't
not
like the
big fan.
shield. I'm not a
Nobody
big fan of
seems
the
to like the
shield.
shield. I don't actually care.
No, it looks nice.
Nobody likes it.
But the home
say he
shirt is
does like
kind
the
of growing
shield.
on me. I will have to wear it with a collar popped. I've already said.
Are you
to
going
the guys.
Cantona? Are you going all
Yeah, I'm
Cantona, right?
He's going Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Hudson-Odoi is doing that.
Hudson-
Yeah, Hudson
yeah.
Odoi keeps putting his up, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
home shirt
it
has
has
grown
grown
on
on
me,
me.
funnily enough. Yeah.
Yeah. it's
And
grown
the
on me
away
as well.
shirt, when I first saw it, I felt a bit sick, but it may well grow on me. When I see it in the flesh,
You see it in
it will,
person,
may well
yeah.
work.
Wait, do you like it, Rob?
Well, the away shirt,
Yeah.
it's all right, but I need to see it with the shorts because I don't like white top and
Because you
white
like men's
shorts.
legs.
Somebody
That's
said it's Leeds if you've got
Yeah.
white top, white shorts. Which
Can
is,
it not be Real Madrid? Can it not be
No.
Real
Has
Madrid?
not got the full kit.
it should be white shirt,
They have it,
with
yeah.
black shorts, like Nigel Clough
Oh,
used to
Derby
wear,
County.
a long
Derby
sleeve
County.
white shirt,
Oh.
like Nigel
Oh,
Clough
the
used to
Derby
wear.
fans in the chat are here for Rob.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, is the
Yeah.
Derby fan still here? I thought this shirt.
Oh,
I think he
it
got
is the
banned.
white.
Can I
It is
show you
white
the shirt
shorts
I
as well,
bought?
Rob.
I found this online. Can everyone see that?
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is your Liberal Democrat
Yeah.
candidate for
I saw that. I had
Parliament.
to buy
This is
it.
your local MP.
It just if you want that shirt, you can get it off Redbubble. Just put Redbubble. Just type Nottingham Forest in it. It'll come up.
Red
Free
Bubble, that
advertising
sounds-
again.
What's
I
this
know,
free
come on, Rob.
sponsorship?
So we're
Bloody hell,
giving
Rob,
out-
I've had to
we're
charge
giving out
Rona.
birthday wishes.
Oh, it is white. I said it's all
The kit
white.
is
Is it
fully
white?
white.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
like
oh.
it fully white. I don't like
When's
it
the
fully white.
third kit
It's
going?
Real Madrid, man. What's up with you?
No, because it's a weird white. It's
No.
like a Leeds white.
No.
It's like an off-white.
No, Leeds white's very white, like a lily white. like
one of them
Tottenham,
wasn't.
Leeds white
Trust me,
is.
it looks like a Leeds from like 10 years ago. It's horrible.
Okay.
When's the third kit coming out?
You know what? I got completely the
That one
third
hasn't
kit.
been leaked, has it?
That better be black, man. I love a black kit.
Black and gold.
Yeah,
Black
and
and
the
gold.
Oh,
gold
then I
kits.
finally matched my background. It won't be wolf background anymore.
no. It might be, although if we're still on like last year's designs, it'd be pink, won't it, or something like that?
Ah,
With the
fuck
flowers
no.
on it.
Has anyone in the chat seen any leaks on the third kit? I didn't even put two and two together. I was like,
No,
we're
but
done
there's
with
a
the
there's a reason I put these gold and
Yeah,
black
green
extras.
together.
little subliminal message. Chris with another £2. He says only men's through the badge, women's the other. Oh,
Has he got a woman's shirt? Has
he's
he
got a
woman's
woman's shirt. on.
No. It's an XL55 or something. It's the
Okay.
biggest one you can get, so I don't.
Okay,
Nathan,
everyone
have
else
you
got
got,
an
you got the women's
XL55.
stuff, Nathan?
It makes sense because obviously they're going to use the same width pattern, aren't they? So it makes sense that the wider it gets, you're going to have to shift that badge at some point. And I think Nathan
Not
was just past that point.
necessarily. I don't
You
know,
would
maybe.
end up there
I don't know
otherwise,
about
wouldn't it?
that. No, they just
You'd end up.
He's not wearing a tent, man.
Well,
Shout out,
That's
shout out to you,
debatable.
Chris. And big up to Dylan, 31 months. Crazy long. He goes, white shirt looks like it's been washed 20 times. It does a bit. It does a bit. Is it white or was it be cream?
It's
Or
like
what's the other
white.
one?
Off-white.
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 What's this off-white thing, man?
But Off-White is a
Off-White-
label.
Off-White's an expensive brand of clothing. I don't think
Yeah,
it's...
it is. I've got a few. Don't worry.
All right, guys, make sure you're in the Discord. I'm going to drop in there in about half an hour. So you lot are babbling about in there. The link's pinned to the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. We're 13 away from 300 likes. Who should we troll? Should we go troll someone? You know what? You guys have been epic.
Wolfie, let me say
trolls.
goodbye to my
Wolfie.
one or two. Let me say goodbye to my one or two.
Ez
fans.
is being kicked off of Forest.
I'm being kicked off for a little while.
FFTV.
Yeah, I'm going through a knee.
Yeah.
ACL, guys. ACL and meniscus. So bloody, I'll be out for the season. But so I'm going to miss the next few shows. But we've got a full house right now, and Greg's already agreed to take my place. So watch out for that. But yeah, wish me luck, guys. Hopefully, I'll see you on the flip side, and keep supporting the channel and keep subscribing and hitting the like button before on your way out. But yeah, back to you, bro.
You're making it sound like you're having like freaking heart transplant.
I'll be honest, guys. I'm really shitting myself. Anybody else who's had an ACL, because everybody I've spoken to just give me absolute horror stories about how many. One of them, the first person I spoke to about it, had it redone 6 times, and I'm like, oh my god, are you joking?
Yeah,
and
but no
eventually
doubt
it was
you've got
done
the
by-
best surgeons, Ez.
I have got a decent surgeon, but she ended up having to get it done by the Notts cricket physio, and he eventually got it right. But yeah, everyone I've spoken to about these kind of surgeries.
Is she good in the field now, then, Ez?
Eh?
Is she good in the field now?
He is on. I'm gonna send you there, Jolly Ollie. Shout out to
Wolfie.
Wait, hold on. Shout out to Chris. He goes, it's a fact. It's the ladies' kit. Hold that, Nathan, man. You're wearing ladies' top now. Big up to you, Chris. And you've got to find out now. We need to know for the next episode.
I know it's not. I was with him when he bought it, I think. No, I wasn't.
You wouldn't
No,
know,
no.
man. You wouldn't know.
No, he was with me when I got my top. That was it. Listen, Wolfie. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, nearly swore then.
Thanks.
Good job you didn't.
I know. That'd have been terrible. If you got your phone there, you got a phone.
Yeah.
All right, go on YouTube. This will help you in future streams.
Okay.
Go on your homepage.
Yeah.
At the top, you can see a tab that says live. If you go on that, it tells you everybody that's live at the moment.
Oh,
So
is
you can
it?
go
But
and-
you do know, and that I'm not redirecting through my phone. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it'll tell you who to direct it to.
Oh, don't
You're
worry.
asking-
I've got the perfect
Oh,
candidate.
you're asking
And
people
I
in
would
the
just-
bleeding.
Hold on.
You were asking
hold on.
people in the
Federal
bleeding
group.
chat earlier on.
I was asking them who
last
they want to go to, man. Who they want to go
Yeah.
to. Right. There's only one candidate. You're all going to Sava because they've lost 4-0 to Bayern Munich. So I want to see 4-0 spammed in that chat, right? And it's going to trigger him. So make sure you type 4-0 in Sava's chat. We'll be back tomorrow for transfer update, no doubt. And oh no, we got the casting, the Crystal Palace thing. So hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. 4-0. Want to see that in the chat? Come on, you Reds.
You ready?